What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Happy freaking Friday. Welcome back to another episode of HawksFanTV, your number one source for all things Atlanta Hawks. I'm your host, AC, and it is an absolute pleasure for you guys to be tuning in today. We have Game 2 of the Eastern Conference Finals, our Atlanta Hawks versus the Milwaukee Bucks. Who's going to take it? If we go up 2-0 in this series, fellas, ladies, there's a good chance we're sweeping the Bucks, okay? Big day. It is, what is it? It's 9:49 as I'm recording this video, and I'm already pre-gaming. Had the day off work today. Told my boss that, I'm not working today. So I'm making this video early in preparation of Game 2. A lot of key things to be looking out for. There's some good things that we did in Game 1 that I think we need to continue to do in Game 2, but also make some adjustments because the Bucks are going to do everything in their power to stop Trae Young. Much like the Sixers and the Knicks, well, the Knicks just didn't have the personnel, honestly, to stop Trae Young, but the Sixers took Trae lightly, right? They thought stuff was sweet over here. They didn't know he was about that. And they soon realized in Game 1 what Trae Young is capable of, and they really started to crack down, or at least attempted to. Trae Young still went off, but as you can see, the defense was much more tight following Game 1 of last series. So I'd imagine the Bucks are probably going to do everything in their power to at least slow down Trae, blitzing him, trapping him after pick and rolls, double teaming, triple teaming, quadruple teaming, you name it. They're going to try to do it. Or maybe they won't, Coach Budenholzer has a tendency to not really make adjustments. I would know. I've been a Hawks fan since like 2000, okay? If that says my age at all. I kind of have a baby face, but I am 28 years old. So I've been through a few seasons with these Hawks, okay? It's going to be a big game tonight. Let's get into it, okay? So if we go here, ESPN has us as +8 for Game 2 tonight, okay? The disrespect. I'm pretty sure I don't know if this updated. I really don't know if this updated. But this was the exact same line, +8 for Game 1, okay? Exact same line for Game 1, and we obviously just won outright, won by 3, so they definitely covered and they won straight up. So this thing concerns me right here. Bogey's really the only one left on the injury report. Trae Young, Cam Reddish are both completely entirely off, since Game 1, so that's a good sign. Here's my biggest key for adjustment that we need to make for Game 2, which I doubt Nate McMillan will do. And it's nothing crazy if he does or doesn't do, but I think Bogey needs to be coming off the bench for the foreseeable future. Just until his knee gets at least back to like 80%. It's clearly below like 50%. He looks hobbled out there, okay? So, we need to honestly be bringing him off the bench. I think we could definitely start that lineup of Trae, Kevin Huerter at the 2, Gallo, JC, and Clint. Obviously, big boy lineup there. Every single person on that lineup minus Trae is 6'7" or taller, so definitely will help combat the length that the Bucks will have with Giannis, Middleton, Brook Lopez, which I'll get to in just a second, because I wouldn't be surprised if Brook Lopez is not in the starting lineup for Game 2. He was getting killed on those pick and rolls, drop coverage. He just had absolutely no idea what to do. So really wouldn't be surprised if we saw Brook Lopez coming off the bench for this game. And, Bud might actually slip Giannis in at the 5, which, in my opinion, could be advantageous for us. Bogey needs to be coming off. I know he's not healthy. We all know that. And he's just a liability right now on both the offensive and the defensive end. He's trying his heart out. Don't get me wrong. He's playing He's playing with grit. He's playing with heart. He obviously wants to be out there with his teammates, but his knee is just prohibiting him from moving, the way he needs to move, getting that lift off his jumper, things like that. So I wouldn't hate seeing that lineup of Gallo, JC, Clint, or even Solomon Hill. I don't want it to happen, but we can put Solo at the 3. I still think Cam Reddish should start, in my unpopular opinion, because I just think that highly of Cam and his athletic ability that even though he's been out for this long, he's still gonna do good. So I don't even care. But yeah, I mean, plus 8. That is so disrespectful, in my opinion. So disrespectful. But let's get into just the adjustments for game 2, right? I kind of briefly hinted towards them just a second ago. I'd like to see Bogey come off the bench. Obviously, a few people share that sentiment with me. I've seen Hawks fans on Twitter basically saying the same thing, and I completely agree. Bogey coming off the bench, I doubt it happens, though. He's still a good enough player and shooter that even though he's at 50-60%, the Bucks still need to respect him. He's still going to space the floor out. They still need to cover the 3, which leaves, JC, Clint, and Trey to operate with Bogey just spacing the floor. So worst case scenario, he can just be a diversion, a distraction, because if they leave him and Trey's going to find him, Bogey's going to hit those open 3s. He just hasn't been taking like any 3s recently, especially last game, because he knows his knee's not there. Defenses are playing tight on him, not letting him shoot, obviously, right? They've been reading the scouting reports, especially Milwaukee. I mean, Milwaukee wanted Bogdan in the offseason and couldn't get him. So that's one thing I'd like to see change. Main thing for Clint, because Clint is going to be the primary defender on Giannis, okay, all series long. He did a really great job defending Giannis, in my opinion, just straight one-on-one. Obviously, Giannis got to the paint and finished at the rim pretty easily from time to time, but he did a good job, right? He obviously knows Giannis isn't a shooter, definitely not a three-point shooter. He's playing off him. Now, one thing that I need to see change is he would stop him, right? Especially in the first half of game 1. Clint would give him that 5 to 10 feet cushion. Giannis really had no idea what to do. He would then dribble back to the 3-point line, and he would then reset, regather, get a full head of steam, and then attack Clint. Clint needs to continue to give him that 5 to 10 yard cushion, okay, feet cushion, because as soon as he brings it back to the 3-point line, I've noticed Clint was going at him, okay. He was defending him, on the 3-point line, which makes no sense. We want Giannis to shoot those 3s, okay? We want to peer pressure him into shooting long-range 2s. That's how he's less effective, okay? Because he's a freak athlete, great finisher at the rim. So we don't want him driving. Kevin Huerter, I want to see Kev be more aggressive. Obviously, he has a lot tougher of an assignment. He doesn't have Seth Curry guarding him this series, right? Seth Curry is boo-boo. He's miniature. Look, he looks like fucking Rick Moranis out there, okay? So, compared to Kev, if you don't know who Rick Moranis is, he was the, dad in Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, okay? So, tiny. Now he has Chris Middleton guarding him, I'm pretty sure, right? Yeah, Chris Middleton was his primary defender. Chris Middleton obviously has the length, the size. So that's given Kev some troubles. But I want to see more of that aggression. I want him to get into his spots, hit those mid-range shots. He had a couple last game. 13 points isn't terrible. 13 points. He only took, I think, 9 shots last game. So fairly efficient. 13 points, or maybe it was 10 shots. I don't remember. But I want him to be more aggressive. We're gonna need it. The Bucks are not gonna let Trae Young score 50 again in game 2. He's capable of scoring 50 because he's that good. He's a superstar, like I said in my last video. Okay, whenever you reference Trae Young and you call him a star, make sure you put that super in front of it, like Reggie Miller said. So we're gonna need big games from Kevin Huerter. We're gonna need big games from JC. and we're going to need a big game from our bench, okay? Our bench was horrendous last game. Luckily, we had Trey basically carrying the offensive load, scoring 50 points. So, that was good. But if Lou and Gallo and Solomon Hill have that sort of production, we're not going to win many games, okay? So I'm looking at you, Lou. I'm looking at you, Gallo. You two are the main anchors off our bench right now with all these injuries. So we're going to need some big games from you two. They're very capable of scoring. Both of them can score 20 plus on any given night. They need to have that confidence. They need to be aggressive. And let's go. Gallo's never been to the Eastern Conference Finals. I'm pretty sure Danilo Gallinari, for as long as he's been in the league, for as many times he's been in the playoffs, he's actually never gotten past the first round. It's crazy. Which I think was evident, in Game 7 of the 76ers. You could clearly see how pumped up he was, hyping up his teammates during that timeout, which you love to see. That's exactly what you want to see from your vets. And, he's excited making it this far, at this point of his career, because Gallo probably only has a couple years left. Same with Lou. Lou actually might be retiring after this year. If memory serves me correctly, I'm pretty sure Lou Will is actually the oldest person on the team right now at like 35, 34, something like that. And then Gallo is not too far behind him. So this is their last hurrahs, especially for Lou. I need Lou to come out there and play like this is the last series he's going to play in. I need to see that Game 5, okay? That Game 5 against the Sixers, I need him to replicate that and do that every single game this series, because we're going to need it. The absence of DeAndre Hunter has been huge. I said this in the last video. If we had Dre, we're winning this series in 5, okay? He's the perfect defender to put on either Middleton or Giannis. He can get his own bucket. He can space the floor, hit a 3 at a fairly reliable rate. Like, even Hawks fans, I don't think you guys realize how good DeAndre Hunter is and will be. And especially the national media have no idea who DeAndre Hunter is, okay? I just wish he was playing. It hurts my heart to see him not compete with his brothers, because he's worked so hard last offseason to get this good. He was a front runner for Most Improved Player of the Year before that knee injury, which is a damn shame. And I want to see Cam Reddish getting some minutes. I want to see Cam get some minutes. I know it's not going to happen. I know a lot of Hawks fans want to see Cam, but honestly, what can Solomon Hill do that Cam Reddish can't? Like, Cam Reddish is still, in my opinion, a 10x better option than throwing Solomon Hill out there. But that's just my 2 cents. I'm not an NBA coach. I don't get paid millions of dollars to make these types of decisions, even though I should be. But yeah, I'm throwing Cam Reddish. At least giving him some spot up minutes. Maybe 7 to 8 minutes, Game 2 tonight, just to see what he can do, just to see what he can provide. Especially if Bogey's hurt. We have like no wing depth with Dre hurt, Bogey hurt. Yeah, so we're gonna need someone to step up. I hope we just blow the Bucks out tonight. Blow the doors open, run them out of the court, and it's like a 25-point game going into the fourth quarter, and we throw Cam Reddish out there to get some real game time. That's the only way I see him playing. Another key thing we needed to be looking at is we got to focus more on Chris Middleton. I've been on Twitter and I've trashed Chris Middleton publicly a couple times, saying he was, he just wasn't that good of a player. He's been so inconsistent. I credit a lot of Giannis's on-court play and all the attention he gets in previous years on why Chris Middleton has ever even made an All-Star game. But he is better than what he showed in Game 1. I will admit that. He is better than the 13 or 15 points that he put up, 0 for 9 from 3. He's probably not going to shoot 0 for 9 from 3 for the rest of the series. He'll have bad shooting performances because he's just that inconsistent. He might go 2 for 12, 1 of 7, something like that, but he's not going to go 0 for 9 ever again. So we need to focus on that. If he just made 1 or 2 of those threes in Game 1, it's an entirely different series. We could be down 0-1. Who knows? But on the flip side, Drew Holiday is not going to play like that ever again. It seems like the Hawks, every time they go against a team, they always have like that one borderline mediocre player just play like a Hall of Famer. I know you guys know what I'm talking about, you know, and it happens in the regular season too. Like every year it happens in the regular season. We saw it in, you know, round one with Alec Burks just playing out of his mind, you know, in game one, scoring 20 points in the first quarter. We had a couple of other players off the Knicks that randomly popped off, Isaiah Quickly. Then fast forward to the 76ers series, we had Shake Milton and Seth Curry going off for 30 points. Shake Milton scoring, you know, 12, 13 points in a quarter. You know, just anomalies, okay? Like outer body experiences, something that will never, ever happen again. And I'm sorry, but Seth Curry's he's a decent player. He's straight, but he's not. I don't even know what he shot. He shot like 60% from the three-point line against us this series, right? He was the clearly the number 2 best player behind Joel Embiid, and he shouldn't be. He should be like the 4th or 5th best player on a good team, but we just let him go off, and we can't let Drew Holiday do that. Drew Holiday's his primary specialty is on-ball defense, perimeter defense, right? Widely known as one of the best guard defenders in the entire NBA. Trae Young probably has something to say about that, but not many people can guard Trae, so I don't fault you, Drew. But Drew Holiday is not a 33, point scorer in the playoffs. Okay, he's not going to score 30 points ever again in this series. Book it, all right, book that. But he might, he can definitely get you 18 to 20. Okay, he's a good enough athlete, strong, physical guy, can get to the lane. He can get you, 18 to 20 on some nights, but not 33. So I expect that to balance out, right? Law of averages. Drew Holiday's points will go down. Chris Middleton's will go up. So just focusing on that and limiting their role players. Great job on not letting random guys like Pat Connaughton or Brent Forbes of the Bucks, go off and hitting, a bunch of threes on us. So all in all, I think we played hard. Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals. I mean, most of our core guys are young, okay? They're 22, 23. Everyone in our starting lineup besides Clint has never played in the playoffs up until this year. It's crazy to think about. But, something in the water down here in Atlanta, okay? Nate McMillan has got them boys. They're talking about those fists, right? Collective effort, group effort. And I'll say it right now, okay? I'm going on record right now. If I'm Nate McMillan, after this series is done, after we win the NBA Finals, I'm going up to, Grant Hill's office, Tony Ressler's office, Jesse Itzler's office. I'm walking in there with a blank check, and I'm putting it on their desk, and I'm saying, I'm just throwing an absurd figure out because he's earned it. I know a lot of you naysayers out there, especially on Twitter and Reddit, were doubting Big Nate prior to the playoffs starting, saying, oh, well, he hasn't won a playoff series since, early mid-2000s. He's been a first-round exit for the last, 4 years. But he's never had a team, guys. He's always played a team with significantly more talent than his Pacers or Trailblazers. He's never had a player like Trae Young. That's the God-honest truth. Superstar. He's never once in his career have had a player that's, in that top 10, top 12 caliber range. And that's exactly what Trae Young is. And he's proved it. So you get Trae Young and you couple that with a lot of other solid pieces, we have a lot of good players. If we had Nate since day one before the season started, we would be a top 3 seed, hands down. But unfortunately, we had that one coach, the one that thou shalt not be named, to sabotage our season, sabotage Trae Young's All-Stars. Yeah, but I'm feeling very, very confident going into Game 2, ladies and gentlemen. You should be as well. I want to hear your predictions in the comments below. It's 10 o'clock, 10:07 now. I don't know what I'm going to do for the next 8-9 hours before tip-off. But probably drink a few more of these, watch some more tape, some more film, and give my analysis all throughout Twitter. If you guys haven't already, make sure you follow us on Twitter and Instagram at HawksFanTV, which you can see above. And if you like Hawks content like this, we'll be doing live streams as well. post-game, pre-game analysis, taking callers from all over the world, getting your opinions about our Hawks. I'd love to hear from you all. Make sure you hit that subscribe button down below, and join the movement, join the family, and enjoy the ride. This is the birth of a dynasty. Trae Young and these Hawks, we're going to be special for years to come, okay? So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I love you guys. Have a great rest of your Friday. Let's go Hawks, and don't forget, Hawks in 4, baby.